Hello everyone and welcome to Be Successful, your favorite development channel. The place you always leave smarter than you came. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I have to admit that I'm really happy to see you again. If you remember, in our last video, we spoke about the human rat race and finding out where we are with our monthly expenses. If you haven't seen that video yet, click the link on the screen now. I recommend that you watch that one first, and then return to this video to make it easier to understand. I am really curious to find out what you've realized after writing down your income and expenses. I am sure that some of you had some unpleasant surprises. Is it so? If yes, please share it with us. Till then, I can tell you from my experience that it's really easy to lose track of all of the payments without having the general overview of our monthly budget. I remember when I first decided to do the same thing. It was after I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki. It was in 2018, and a friend of mine recommended it to me. Robert Kiyosaki writes in his book about the rich don't work for money. Why teach financial literacy? Mind your own business. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. The rich invent money. Work to learn, don't work for money. Overcoming obstacles. Getting started. After reading just a few pages, I knew right away that this book would change my life, and I could not stop reading. With every page I've read, I was overwhelmed with mixed feelings. In one way, I was upset and angry. I lived in this rat race for so many years without knowing it. But in another way, I was happy to understand what I have to do to break out of this trap. If you never read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I really recommend you to read it. It's a must for your journey towards financial independence. You can order it using the link in the description below. And in the future, I will make a separate video just about his book. After finishing the book, I said to myself, if I want to get out of the hole, first I need to stop digging. So I started writing down my income and my expenses. I tried to identify behaviors that lead me to spending money, buying non-important stuff. I had to look at my monthly budget and identify the expenses that dragged me down. I remember that I immediately noticed two of my biggest expenses were rent and auto loan. I am sure a lot of you have easily identified the same thing. Immediately I started to research how much a normal rent should take from my salary. And I found out about the 30% rule of thumb for rent. It is recommended to spend no more than about 1/3 of your monthly income on a rent payment each month. For example, if your gross monthly income is €2,000, the maximum you should be paying for rent is €600. 30% of €2,000 is €600. Of course, this is just a suggestion. We all need to do our own calculations. Unfortunately, the number of people who spend 50% or more of their income on housing has increased over time. Just stop for a second and think. 50% of your income on housing. Crazy, isn't it? Another most common expense is the auto loan. A car is not an asset, it's a liability. As Robert Kiyosaki simply explains in his book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Now, I will share with you what I realized my biggest expenses were. 1. Transportation costs. Auto loan €225 per month. Auto insurance €75 per month. Tax €90 per year equals €7.5 per month. Technical inspection €700 per year equals €59 per month. Fuel €80 per month. Parking place €30 per year equals €2.5 per month. Changing winter and summer tires €120 per year equals €10 per month. This brought me to a total auto expenses per month of €459. 2. Rent for my 2-room apartment €750 per month. It was shocking to see that I was spending €1209 per month for rent and car. It took me a while to process this info. I realized I was at moment zero of my financial journey. I like to call moment zero the moment when each of us need to make the first important decision. After some long days of thinking and rethinking, I took the hard decision to move into a smaller apartment and to sell my car. For transport, I was going to use my bike, the subway, or the tram. I can assure you it was difficult to let go of something that I was enjoying, to get out of my comfort zone, to start my journey towards financial freedom. But I was determined to do it. I was focused and I was accepting the pain. If you remember in our first video, I've told you that I have a good news and a bad one. The good news was that anyone can manage to get out of the rat race, to accumulate wealth and start enjoying their life. The bad news was that for that to happen, you need constant focus, you need to get out of your comfort zone, and even to let go to some old habits. Selling my car and moving into a smaller apartment was exactly that. Sacrifice, focus, and getting out of my comfort zone. After that, my new expenses list was looking like this. 1. Transport costs. €80 monthly subscription for subway and trams. 2. Rent. €355 for a one-room apartment. This means I suddenly had plus €459 from auto savings, plus €395 from rent savings, minus €80 for subway and tram monthly subscription. That's an astonished monthly saving of €774. Impressing, isn't it? But it was not easy. It was not easy because on top of my struggles to do all these changes, to let go of bad habits, I had to deal with a lot of pressure from outside. When I say outside pressure, I mean friends and even relatives were telling me I was crazy selling my car, or asking me why did I move into a smaller flat instead of enjoying my life into a bigger one. At the beginning, I've tried to explain why I was doing this, and most of them laughed and made fun of me. In that moment, I realized that I have to ignore the surrounding noise and focused on my goal of escaping the rat race and heading towards my financial freedom. If you want to find out what I've done with the extra €774 per month, then don't forget to come back next week to get a small portion of your financial education here, and for that to subscribe to be notified when we post a new video. Together we will guide you step by step towards your financial release and getting out of the rat race. Thank you for staying with us until the end, and until next time, you can watch another episode on this channel by clicking right now on the link on the screen. We are also waiting for you on Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, or whatever other platforms you use. You can find all the links in the description.